If you want the content you create on Instagram to bring in more sales without feeling the weird ick of selling, this video is for you. But I'm not going to be talking about the algorithm because that's not your enemy. You have been viewing content as individual posts instead of as an ecosystem where everything works together. I want you to think about nature's ecosystem, for example. Everything interacts with each other. It is literally a biological community of interacting organisms. We've got the bees interacting with the flower, and then the bee going off and making honey, and then we're served by that honey because that's what we put in our tea or on our banana or on our apples, wherever you put your honey. So I want you to see that is exactly how our content should work. Every piece of content should interact with each other. But when you are seeing your content as individual posts, now you're creating so much pressure on yourself and you make yourself feel like you only got one shot to get the sale. And so that level of pressure on that one post creates a performance. And now you are trying to get something from the audience. You are trying to get the sale and trying to say the right thing so that your audience buys. And you are making yourself believe like you only got one shot to do it because it's this one post that you've been focused on, and you're not seeing the entire landscape of the body of work that you are putting online. And this performative nature is so needy that it repels your audience. It's like when you're dating and somebody is coming off very needy, it's like, bro, like back up. It's all about them. They got to prove themselves, they got to show themselves, and it's repellent. So, this performative nature in our content is literally buyer repellent. It is pushing your people away because people buy based on how you make them feel, not on the words that you say. This is the trap of the algorithm, is getting you to perform and please for the algorithm. But guess what? The algorithm isn't who or what is buying from you. It's people. So we got to actually trade in the algorithm and performing for the algorithm and step into our authority. So how do we actually do that? We literally have to make a trade in. We have to be able to make these shifts. I'm going to share 3 things for you to be able to do that. But this is why trying to find the best trending audio, trying to post at a certain time, or just posting more isn't making you any more sales. It's because you are using reach to try to get to people. But really, what you want to trade that in for is resonance, because we are selling to humans. We are not selling to an algorithm. And so we want to trade in our reach for resonance. And if you're a coach, an expert, or a thought leader, it is honestly the substance of our content that brings in these high quality buyers. And the substance of your content helps your audience to understand the level of depth in which you understand them, not how much you know, not how much you are trying to showcase yourself as like a know-it-all. That's not what this is about. This is when people start creating content that sounds like a textbook instead of feeling like a breakthrough, because they're so like, look at me, look at me. And your audience is like, that's really cool. I'm glad you know all that stuff. But they're not making the connection in their mind and in their hearts. Oh, what you know can serve me. And that's our job as coaches, creatives, and thought leaders, is to bring what we know and package it in a way that our audience can go, ooh, aha. And they have these multiple light bulb moments where they start to see, like, you can really help me. So if you want to like shift into your authority, I actually have a challenge coming up. It is the Content Authority Blueprint Challenge. I'm going to be helping you turn your ideas and solutions into your own signature framework that will become the foundation for how you market your offers. But I'm going to give you these 3 things right now. So how do we actually create this resonance instead of just looking for reach? First thing you need is to have your own signature framework. This is going to help you create the kind of content that genuinely speaks to the emotional, buyer-ready side of your audience and not just speaking to their logical mind. The information that you're sharing is you telling them what you know, but that's not what they buy. What they buy is the belief that you can help them, the belief that they're going to be able to get the result by working with you. And so when you have your own signature framework, what you're doing is you're truly creating a depth of embodiment. You're not just going, I know I can help you. You're really believing in your heart, I got a process. I got a process that is going to take you to the treasure. I'm going to be able to help you move through this, but you have to be able to take what's floating around in your head, all the ideas, all of the solutions, and all of these concepts that you've been able to use. You've got to be able to take that and add structure. Because if not, they're literally floating around in your head directionless. They're just floating around in there, and you show up online to create content and it feels like you're just scattered. And now when you're like, I got an offer I want to sell, now you're putting yourself in that performative energy and you don't have any structure. So having a signature framework is so essential because you take what's in here, you create structure, and now you can deliver that structure to your audience in the form of content. And that is going to come across with levels of certainty. And that is what your audience is buying. They're buying the fact that you are clear about what you know because they can see, ooh, there's a process for me. I'm going to be able to get my result by working with this person. And so it's that certainty, it's that certain energy that comes through. When you don't have a framework, you are in that performative nature, which is the repellent. So the signature framework is what gives you the certainty. And then when you speak, the energy carries the words. The certainty energy carries the words that you are saying. This is why you see so many people can say the right thing, but no one's buying. You're probably saying the right thing, but people aren't buying the way that you would expect them to. We got to take a look at like, what is the undertone of what's carrying your words? How much certainty and conviction do you have behind that? When you create your signature framework, you're going to deliver with certainty. Why? Because you're now creating tangible evidence with your own eyes. You can see you have a process. You can see the bridge of being able to take your audience from where they are over here to over here, to getting that treasure. And then when you help them with your framework, because the job of the framework is to actually help your audience see themselves differently, see their problem differently, then they're going to go, ooh, aha, you can help me and I need to hire you because you're the person that created that mini breakthrough, not just logically in their head, but in their heart. Number 2, use your voice to say what's true. When we are in this performative nature, we're worried about saying what's right in order to get people to buy. But we got to say what is true. What do our people really need to hear? What's the belief that's genuinely holding them back? What is the thought processes that they keep replaying over and over and over again that isn't the way that they're going to help, that they're going to get results? So you got to disrupt that pattern. You got to disrupt that way of thinking, which means you got to understand your audience way better than they understand themselves. And you got to understand your audience just as much as you understand your own craft because you're so close to it. You understand all of the nuances. But we have to be able to take that and mold that so we bring it to the marketplace. And if we're bringing it to the marketplace in this performative nature, now we're trying to smoothen out the edges of our words. And that is not going to pierce through the heart of our audience for them to go, ooh, this person, they really get me. They're just going to be like, okay, they sound like everyone else. And that's why you probably feel like you sound like everyone else because you're not using your voice to say what's true. You're using your voice to try to be liked, to try to get the engagement, to go for that reach. But when you say what's true, that is how you create resonance. Right now in this video, I am telling you, it is not the algorithm. It is your ability to create resonance. And right now you have been chasing reach through the algorithm. We want to be able to walk in resonance, which means we have to walk in our authority, not just in the algorithm. So I really hope that you're seeing this. I am saying what is true, although there's so many people that's going to tell you you got to like serve the algo. Is not about that because the algo can only pick up what is resonant. feel like I'm getting a little hot and heavy about this because I just see so many people like chasing the things that aren't working, and it's keeping you distracted. It's keeping you away from your assignment and genuinely serving your people because you're still looking for these surface level solutions. And that's not what this is about. When you're building a body of work as a coach, an expert, and a thought leader, it is you taking and shaping what you know and bringing that online and all of that working together. So this brings me to point number 3. You want to build brand equity, not just engagement. Brand equity is the amount of value that increases over time. It's like the equity in a home. It increases over time. And every time you do an upgrade, you remodel the kitchen or you get new windows or you do whatever, that increases the value of your home. So that means that any time that you start using your voice to say what's true, you have a signature framework that's all working together, and your content is an ecosystem and you're not seeing it as individual posts, then that means you are building up your value in the marketplace. Now people want to buy things from you before they even know what you sell. They're like, do you even sell anything? Yes, we sell things. But people aren't going to ever feel like you are selling to them. They're just going to feel that desire and that emotional pull in them to want to buy because of how your content is being positioned. And I call this perspective-based positioning. Your perspective is made up of your story, your skill set, and your experience. And I talked about this in my last video. Your perspective is your power. And so this is how you start building up brand equity, where every individual post helps serve the other posts. All of the videos on my channel is brand equity. I'm building up the equity in the marketplace, and I trust that these videos genuinely serve you because I care to serve you. I understand where you are because I was there where I had all these directionless ideas floating around in my head. I've created structure around my ability to now deliver this in a way that you can pick it up and you're like, I get this now. And you can take this and you can actually implement it. These are principles. They're not just one-off strategy or a one-off thing that you're never going to repeat again. These are the foundation of genuinely making money online sustainably, not just one time, not just once or twice or 3 times, sustainably. And that's so essential. So you want to increase the equity. And this is how you truly cut through the noise. You cut through the noise because your brand over time, your words are carrying power because you're delivering a perspective. My mentor says your voice is currency. And I love that so much because it is true. When we speak up and we use our voice, it is our currency. And so when we are able to deliver that online consistently and repeatedly, our value is going up in the marketplace because people are being served. This is how you cut through the noise. And this is what we're going to be covering inside of the Content Authority Blueprint Challenge. We're going to be making your signature framework so that you start cutting through the noise no matter what platform you're on. If you're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you're going to be able to take these ideas and put them online, and people are going to gravitate towards you. So I will drop the link to join the Content Authority Blueprint Challenge in the description box down below. But in the meantime, drop in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? I trust that this video serves you and blesses you, and I will see you in the next challenge. Bye.